Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarSeries. It is Season 7, Day 11, Game 5 of 5, and that means this is the last game of the evening, and we are watching Power Rangers on the Dire side, and they're taking on Duza Gaming on the Radiant side. Let's see who is going to be breaking whose win streak at the moment, because that's where we're at. Power Rangers just won their previous game. Duza Gaming won their game earlier today as well. Sorry for the spoiler, but that's why you should watch them in the right order. That's why I put that in the thumbnail. So we are gonna see two games. Of course, I am not by myself, and oh my god, speed draft going on, but I'm not by myself. We are with three people here to provide you with all the coverage that you need inside the game. The person that you will not hear, will not see, but you'll see what he does. It is oh, I actually pronounced it wrong this time. Nahar. I hope that I did it right. I hope so. Well, that's the one that's doing your stats for today. Of course, you've seen him in the chat, Nahar the Necro. He is also one of the admins in the chat, so I'm sure you're familiar with him. And, of course, the one that you will hear, it is Kanaz. Kanaz, welcome back, and save me from my awkward monologue.
Good to be back and saving you from this awkward monologue.
Awesome. So, I actually, this is the fastest draft that we've had today, I think.
Yeah, there's been 2 seconds of bonus time used thus far, which is definitely unusual, considering the drafts we've had thus far. They've been really, really slow.
Yeah, I like the Doom ban out for Power Rangers. They definitely have done their homework. We know that Duza loves their Doom, and we saw it earlier in action, of course, as well. We still have a Nature's Prophet in the pool if Duza wants to go for that one. So far, we've got Power Rangers managing to pick up the IO. It's normally a hero that Duza can let that hero go. They have done that before. Actually, they've done it earlier today as well. And, well, maybe now that they don't have a Doom, I'm not quite sure if they can be happy with it. And I have to just point out, Batrider made it through to the second pick phase. What?
Yeah, that's really unusual. Maybe the teams just forgot about him after he made it through the first picking phase. No one remembered, hey, that's a hero we usually ban by this phase. But with the unusual bans that we had come out, sometimes heroes just kind of slip through, and that's what we had Batrider this game. He's going to make it out. But we'll see another Storm Spirit coming up from Power Rangers. Yeah,
I'm quite surprised about Storm Spirit, because Batrider is a bit of a counter towards the Storm. If you blink on him and you get him before he's able to jump himself away, he's not going to be able to go anywhere, and he might actually go down in the duration that he is stuck for. So, interesting pickup for Power Rangers. But we know that it can be very successful. ZXC's Storm, definitely a scary sight. And so far all in the same color palette, by the way. But in terms of bans, I mean, it was a Doom and the Weaver, still high priority targets. Also Lifestealer and Darkseer, heroes that we often see picked up fairly early on. We have got some combinations with the IO banned out as the CK on the side of Duza. They also banned out the Clockwork that they don't want to deal with. And actually Power Rangers banning out the Tiny. As we have seen when the Doom got banned out, we've seen Limbo playing Tiny. They're just blocking Limbo right now. So that's why Limbo is taking their time right now into the bonus time. Alchemist also removed from the pool, leaving a little bit less carries left for Limbo to play. I do want to point out, by the way, that both these teams, we normally say the same thing about, Duza only since now a week and a half, since they have qualified through StarSeries, and I think a lot of people, including myself, had no idea they even existed until they entered StarSeries. And they have been able to pull out some very enjoyable games. And pull out some upsets as well. They've been having strong performances up against every team they have played against. Even if they lost, it was still not a close game whatsoever. Power Rangers, same story, apart from one game where they had lag issues last week. They've been able to throw upsets onto Fnatic, I believe, until Virtus Pro. I mean, maybe only Virtus Pro, not Fnatic yet. We'll see if they can do that later on the season. But Power Rangers, definitely a strong team. You mentioned it also in the previous game. They are a hit or miss kind of team. We'll see if what they do here with Duza. And I'm really hoping that they don't count each other out. They don't like both teams known for aggression and for fun games. And I really hope that they're gonna keep that on. And oh my god, a Witch Doctor.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, that's a surprising pick. Not a hero we see ever. I can't even remember the last time I saw a Witch Doctor in a competitive game. But definitely an interesting hero. I'm curious to see exactly what they're going to do with him. You assume he'll be a support hero in their tri-lane. He's definitely can be a powerful hero. He's just kind of
Radiant team banned.
unusual in the way he works a lot of times. His stun is unreliable at best because it bounces and it's sort of random who it ends up bouncing to. His ultimate can be very powerful if you're allowed to just channel it in the fight, but sort of like Crystal Maiden, you end up not usually able to channel it and often in a weird position trying to use it.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why Witch Doctor is not picked up that often is, well, one, for his unreliable stun, as you say, but also because for him to actually be effective, he kind of needs to be level 3. Because level 1 stun even, like, does even less than level 2. So you need to have level 2 stun. And so if you put him in a trial lane, he normally is not going to level that fast, and if you are a trial lane, you want to be having a strong trial lane, and then you can pick up Crystal Maiden. That is actually a bit stronger than Witch Doctor at level 1. But, well, we'll see what he can do here. I mean, they obviously thought about it. They actually have used all of their bonus time, only 1 second left, and we're gonna have a Slaughter instantly picked up, so...
Dire team
Well, let's see what they can do with this. I don't know if I should like it or fear it, but because it's Duza, I think they can make it work. I definitely do. They have got a trial lane with the Slaughter, Visage, and Witch Doctor. Pretty scary, because you can slow people down with the Visage. You can, of course, crush people with the Slaughter, like, I mean, Slytherin Crush. And also you can speed up with the Slaughter, so I think it's definitely having potential. OD mid, probably. Maybe even on the safe lane with Batrider.
remaining.
Actually, what about OD mid? Oh, hello, Ursa. What about OD mid? And then, oh, sorry, I mean, Batrider mid, OD on the safe lane, the Slaughter aggressive trial lane. What about that? What do you think? Like, when they, I think maybe they want to dodge the Razor mid. That's my thought for that.
It's possible they could run the OD mid, and with Legion picking him up, he played mid in the earlier game. I don't know what they're going to want to go for. They have options with these heroes. There's a lot of different combinations for laning them. You kind of assume that their tri-lane is going to just be Slaughter, Witch Doctor, Visage, but that could be run aggressively. I don't necessarily know if it's ultra effective. This is definitely a highly unusual tri-lane, to say the least, and I guess the chat just got to the point where Witch Doctor got picked
Look
because
at it
everyone's
go.
just shouting, "Look at it go!"
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm pretty excited about the Witch Doctor too. I'm interested to see exactly what they're going to do with this, and also the Ursa pick. I guess it's somewhat usual-ish now
Oh, Roshan
with
level 1?
the Wisp picks.
Prepare for battle.
With that smoke, they could certainly go for it. It's doable. I don't know. He put the point in Fury swipes immediately as well, so it does look like it's probably they're gonna attempt this. And I feel like Duza have to be aware that this could happen with the Ursa on the other team.
Yeah, they're also grouping out as 5. They're making their way over. I'm not quite sure if they want to actually try and check out the Roshan. They don't really have anybody apart from... Actually, Batrider can Firefly and check it out. Whoa, Io, take care. Yeah, he's gonna be able to stay alive, of course, with Tether. Should be decent, but we have got... Team coming in. Duza coming to check out the Roche pit. And now they see them, actually. It is daytime. Already have J4 hanging around. I mean, Venomancer's a great one to have right now. They paused their attempt to go for Roshan, and now they go for MIB. Can they actually get it? The Gale up on 2. He comes a crash still up on Moon, taking a lot of damage. Soul Simpson there as well. Moon, one more hit away from dying and goes down. Unstable with the first blood. Limbo trying to back himself out, still getting slow. One hit from the high ground. From the IO, gets himself the hit in the end with the Razor. ZXC getting chased down. 2 stacks of sticky napalm. Should be staying alive for now as Slaughter and the... Whoa, and the Ursa are the only 2 that go down so far. Capron making himself home. Nice Gale up on 2 still as Legion can't really do anything apart from still killing up the Storm Spirit. Witch Doctor coming back as well. OD dies as well. It's a 2-for-2 trade. They can't go for Roche level 1 anymore. They may be able to kill up Unstable though. There's no creeps to deny yourself too, and that's going to be a Witch Doctor dead. Double kill to go in the way of the Razor. And that means that the engagement in the end is fairly even, because of course even though there's a 3-2 exchange in favor of Power Rangers, the first blood did end up going the way of Duza. Oh my god, he's gonna continue trying. There's still a salve in the inventory of Io. I'm not sure if this is enough though. Is this enough?
Yeah, it should be enough with just the salve because you can heal them both up, but it's gonna be difficult.
It's gonna be very slow. They're not gonna be able to farm in the first.
Definitely, it's very slow, and they're not really.
I mean, they're missing
accomplishing
creeps.
a lot of
As
anything.
in, there's freeform right now for Limbo. There's freeform for the Batrider, and of course, I mean, they're gonna get level 2 of this, even level 3, I think, since there are only 4 people around. But I don't know if it's worth it. Unstable still taking a lot of harassment.
Yeah, they almost killed the Witch Doctor once again. That would have probably been pretty funny if Witch Doctor just walked in there and was like, oh no, had to run away. But they do end up getting the Roshan down. They wasted like a minute. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is still wasted time.
Yeah. Well, let's see who's playing what then, shall we? We have got on the side of Duza, they are on the Radiant side for this game. We've got a tri lane composed of a Slardar played by Limbo, Capron on his signature Visage. We have also got we just have to keep an eye on this tri lane, I guess. We also got a Witch Doctor played by Unstable, as we already saw. In the mid lane, it will be the OD played by Legion. I'm gonna quickly show him there, Legion, see? And they're gonna go back to bottom lane because I really expect something to happen still. And of course on the off lane it will be MIB the best, as we have a crush to stop the Ursa from going up on Limbo. You cannot man fight an Ursa, even if you are a Slardar. Minus armor at level 6, maybe then if you get a crush in, that's of course nice. But it's still very tough. And of course there's MIB the best playing the Bear Rider level 3 right now up on the top lane. And I will leave Power Rangers to be introduced by you.
Power Rangers is going to be on the dire side this game. They're aggressive tri-lane down the bottom lane, going to have Moon playing the carry Ursa, supported by FNG. On the Wisp and J4 on the Venomancer. Mid lane going to be handled by ZXC, who's playing the Razor. And finally, their solo safe lane will be Cheshire Cat. This time, he's going to be playing the Storm Spirit.
Ooh, Moon might be in some trouble. If there's a soul assumption, Moon will die. He'll die. Age is burned. Of course, it's only the Aegis. I guess that's a lucky thing for Power Rangers. They had that margin of arrows. On Spirit still hitting up on Unstable, actually hurting quite a bit there. He's forced to heal, but he doesn't have a heal, nor does he have the spell to heal, so he's really sad. And he'll probably walk either back to base or have himself some selves carried over towards him. I mean, he's a Witch Doctor that got the first blood after all. He has gold. He picked up boots. He upgraded to courier, like a good support should.
Yeah, we'll see exactly who's going to kind of come out ahead. The support's obviously going to be favored on the side of Power Rangers. They got that additional experience from the level 1 Roshan. They got some gold from that as well. That's very helpful for support when you're typically completely poor at the beginning of the game. Instead, they started with a little bit of extra gold.
And look at the level difference, like overall. In like it's level 5 for the Razor up against an OD that is level 4, so at least he's not that far behind just yet. But then there's still a level 1 up on Duza. Level 1 that got the first blood, by the way, but apparently that's not enough to get yourself high up on levels. And the lowest level on Power Rangers is level 3. Roshan is really making a big difference right here, although right now we also got the Bat Rider at level 5. I mean, he got some free farm while the Roshan was still going on, and wow, this Venomancer might be in some trouble. In comes a crush, it misses, but the Soul Assumption is still there. If the crush was there, that would have been a kill, but they go for Limbo. The crush is there. The Earth Splitter, Unstable, run, you're blocking your carry. There we go. That's gonna be indeed Limbo safe. Capron though, not so safe. Get tether stunned. Capron, X for speed, has got another Soul Assumption. No mana for it. Just chases down the Venomancer as we still have Unstable going down because of the Ursa. Capron will be able to win his duel, but gets picked up afterwards straight away. 1-for-1 trade in the end. Actually, 2-for-1 trade. As Witch Doctor is still level 1, so he respawns super fast.
Yeah, Witch Doctor already struggling, and not a really good sign when you get this sort of unusual support hero, and then he's just kind of dying and not doing much of anything. Sitting at level 1 5 minutes into the game, when the lowest support, lowest hero even on the other side is level 4. It's going to be problematic for him, and we have a bottle up on Wisp now, so it's going to really help give some staying power to this tri-lane. It's looking good for Power Rangers, and that's kind of what happens when you get that early Roshan.
Yeah, I guess I was, like, my worries were unjust. Wait a second, Storm, he's not gonna try and go for this. He zips through MIB, being very careful there. He is also level 6, by the way. We might have him rotating bottom at some point, as we have the... Oh, J4 in a lot of trouble. He's gonna go down from the Malefice for sure. Still the heal there from the IO being insanely useful there. Capron, oh my god, the pause there. Still Soul Assumption up with Capron. He's able to pick up J4, but only if he thinks that he's not gonna be able to kill off the Venomancer with the Malefice. It's only level 1 Malefice after all, but I think there was enough damage done. What do you reckon?
I don't think he'll go down unless something else hits him.
Well, then Capron will be needing to turn himself around. Is there vision? Let's see. Yeah, there is. The creeps are still standing around.
So I think if they get one auto attack off on him before this second Malefice tick goes, they might be able to do it. Otherwise, I think he's fine. Level 1 Malefice does effectively nothing. It's almost not even worth the mana most of the time, because they have to have like a gigantic HP pool, and you have to do so much damage to them before it's actually really triggering for anything. Regardless,
It's a level 2 Witch Doctor though.
yeah, Witch Doctor got level 2, so he was able to use Maledict. I guess that's something, instead of just having the Paralyzing Cask. And level 1 Paralyzing Cask isn't particularly good either. Only bounces twice.
Apparently, there's drawing being done on the minimap for Casper. Started off by Schnischke. I have to say though, I mean, I'm happy that I was that there wasn't a combination like we yesterday. Poseidon vs Empire. It was two teams that you normally would see being aggressive, but they cancelled each other out, so it was a very, very slow game. Like, really, 40 minutes in, there were, I think, only 3 kills on the board or something like that. Stupid. But this game, I'm happy to say Duza and Power Rangers already have delivered. Regardless of how this game goes. Both have lived up to their expectations. One with a Witch Doctor Slardar pickup, the other one with level 1 Roche.
Definitely, and there's no... It's just a pretty crazy game already. We've had 8 kills in 5 minutes and a lot of sort of brawling just going on. That was a really big fight at Roshan, just chasing each other down.
Yeah, and getting yourself back to region.
Still, Power Rangers have a pretty big advantage from this thus far, and if they can continue to build up that advantage in the bottom lane, it's going to be pretty good for them.
I wonder what's the pause for. It says...
There's a disconnect on there, so.
Yeah, I know, but there's nobody that says, like, how long it's going to take. We can't, like... I don't know what that says. Actually, provider dropped. And then he says, computer... something. Provider dropped, like, provider drop. You read that too, right?
I mean, that's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, we can read Russian. We're awesome.
I would assume drop Atia is just like dropped. It seems likely.
I think so.
Yeah, we can read Russian.
Ooh.
Go us.
Go us, indeed. Well, this trial line, this safe trial line, it's so scary. And the thing about a Slaughter is we don't really see Slaughter that often, right? The reason for that is because he needs a very good start. He needs to get an early goal up, needs to get an early blink dagger, and then he can really do some damage. But in an aggressive trial line, or versus him as a safe trial line, if he's being shut down, he won't be having that big of an impact in the mid game. And then it's kind of risky to still have him in like that's why you don't pick him up, because if he's not going to be able to dominate, he's not going to be able to do anything later game either. You need something else to put your damage out. Of course, OD can be that target. Let's see how OD is doing. Oh, the static link is still going on. There's 11 for 4 for OD for the moment, with ZXC sitting on 25 to 18. So OD is not going to be the most dominating one here either. Maybe Batrider can be that one though. Batrider on 25 to 5, Shasharket 26 to 4. So this is the wash lane. This is the even lane. And both are actually heroes that when level 6, they probably want to make something happen. I wouldn't be surprised to see MIB regening up some mana and go bottom and try to help his team out to get that Slardar some free farm.
Yeah, they should definitely try and turn the tides in this bottom tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, if at all possible, because they are still behind, and they're not really winning any of their other lanes. Mid lane is a huge advantage for Razor simply because he got all 3 of the kills that Power Rangers got in that initial fight.
Yeah.
So starting off the game on a killing spree is usually a good thing.
Yeah.
And as a result, he's doing very, very well for himself. Top lane, it's like kind of just even. This is a matchup we often see in the mid lane with the Batrider and the Storm Spirit, but they're up in that top lane right now, and no one's really going to be able to build a huge advantage. Storm is a little bit better at last hitting because he does have those nukes, the Static Remnant and the Overload, and Batrider's a little more liable to actually just kill the Storm, just because once his ult is up, which it is now, he can pull him into the tower, and that can potentially just lead to a kill.
Yeah, depending on, of course, how much mana Storm has, which right now is not even that much. Like in terms of ability to zip away.
Because you have to turn around on Storm, and he doesn't have the best turn rate, and if you have those sticky napalm stacks, it can be kind of hard to actually get away from him. But it's not going to be an obvious advantage, and when the other 2 lanes are going poorly for your team, you can't afford to just have sort of break-even lane.
But by the way, apparently he's going to log in from another computer. So if this provider dropped, he's going to log in from another computer. From his brother's computer. Even though it's kind of awkward that they don't have the same provider. But, well.
I guess. Yeah,
Maybe
it's
they're neighbors?
definitely... Or, yeah, or just they live, like, nearby each other.
Yeah, could be.
Something like that. It's possible.
Definitely a possibility. So far, by the way, Power Rangers, I mean, it's only like 5.5 minutes in. And we've already got 3.5k gold in their favor. It's pretty scary. For Duza, experience graph also going the way Power Rangers, no surprise there. But the gold graph actually making quite a big difference here. And if they can keep on this way of regressing, I'm not sure what Duza can actually do here to try to come back into this game. I mean, will Barrider be able to save the bottom lane? Is he going to be able to be strong enough to do that?
It's hard to say if he's really going to be in the position where he can just, like, turn that lane completely around. He'll definitely be able to set up a kill. Pulling anyone really is probably going to lead to them dying in that bottom lane right now, especially with how aggressively Power Rangers are positioned most of the time. Any sort of lasso will probably lead to, like, a hero ending up in the tower, and that's likely to lead to a death. But he can't just sit down there is the problem. If he does, Storm Spirit will be able to just complete free farm with that top lane, and a really big Storm can be just as scary as a really big Ursa.
Yeah, and they're on the same team. I mean, the ability for Power Rangers to pick off people. I mean, you've got yourself a relocate. It's already scary. Storm can zip in if he wants to, if he's close by. And actually, in the previous game, we saw that ZXC doesn't really care if he's close. Or Cheshire Cat actually this time, he doesn't really care if he's close by or not. He will just zip in anyway, no matter how much mana he uses. Although a different player, as said. I mean, ZXC played the Storm previous game. Cheshire Cat does it in this game. I'm kind of surprised to see that Duza didn't try to dodge the Razor mid, but especially after the triple kill for the Razor. Although seeing the lineup that they have right now, I mean, it's probably good that they didn't, because OD wouldn't have been able to get anything bottom lane either. Or maybe they would have been a little bit more safe if they had Bet. Then they would have a safe solo lane OD bottom. That wouldn't have helped up against the tri lane. Nah. Good choice, I guess, in the end.
Yeah, they just didn't really have a lot of good options for dodging the tri lane is what it came down to. If they sent Batrider mid and OD off lane, I guess that's like okay, but Batrider's probably also going to struggle in that lane.
And it would probably be a rotation. Storm would have gone top, or a Razor would have gone top and Storm mid.
Right, like if you can try and dodge it, but it doesn't necessarily do anything. It just, you both end up kind of wasting time walking back and forth from lanes, trying to avoid each other, so that get the best matchup that you can possibly get.
Yeah, sorry for cat sounds. Pause continues. Last message was Shah. I have no idea what that means. Oh, we still have to wait. Fortunately, we can't speed this up. There is actually a limit on the amount of pauses that is allowed to be there, and unlike other tournaments, there's nothing up to the teams in this one. So even if Power Rangers, or even if Duza says, you know, it's allowed, you know, we don't mind if they take longer. The admins will rule, and they will rule disregarding anything that the teams say, basically. Even though we have got a little bit more delays than we normally have for StarSeries. I mean, normally we are starting exactly on time for all the matches, but yesterday and today, both the first match of the day started slightly later. Of course, today was due to Steam issues. They are still such a well-run tournament. I like that the teams don't have an option to say, you know what, we're okay with them being later, because then they don't put pressure on a team to, you know, just not go for the free win, but, you know, be polite rather than going for the free win, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's sort of like you don't want to be those guys that are like,
Exactly.
oh, we refuse to wait, and then everyone like gives you a bad name when it's completely legitimate that you might have other things going on in your life. This is a, you know, scheduled game. You don't want to be sitting there waiting 20 minutes or who knows how long for someone to just come back when something happens.
Yeah, I think it's 3 pauses in total max, and the total duration of the pause is 15 minutes, but I'm not sure. Something like that.
Yeah, I think, I'm pretty sure the number was 3. I don't remember exactly how long the total time was.
Look!
4v5?
No, yeah, but then he said 3 minutes. He's like saying like in 3 minutes he's gonna be reconnecting. And otherwise they'll contend 4 on 5. So wait for 3 more minutes, and otherwise it's 4 versus 5.
Well, I hope he's able to reconnect. That's really an unfortunate way to go down, and someone's just completely out of the game.
Yeah, and who would maybe Venomancer would micro the Ursa, but it's still not ideal at all.
Well, and you can't buy items on him. That's the real biggest issue when it's someone your carry hero.
You need your BKB.
You can't. Yeah, you can't use your gold. It just gets split between your team, which is not really that great, because then you have the Wisp and the Venomancer getting farm, and it's like, alright. I guess if they knew the password, like Venomancer could leave the game and log in on Moon's account and just play as Moon, that could work. But still, obviously not the ideal. And you're just like trying to figure out the best way to make light of a very, very bad situation.
In that case, actually, they might be able to just get a stand-in. Give him the password of the Steam account of Moon. Let him log in.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. It's probably looked down upon very heavily.
Yes. But if it's better than 4 versus 5. I mean...
Certainly. I think if someone found out, they'd get in a lot of trouble.
No, I actually mean just make him tag up as stand-in someone else. You can tag up as someone else. Like asking, can we use a stand-in? Stand-in halfway through the game. It might work. Sorry for making people dizzy, by the way. I now removed my hands from the keyboard so that I won't move my camera anymore. And I don't want to be looking middle because there's annoying static link sounds going on, so we're gonna look bottom. I'm actually thinking this is the most interesting lane anyways, so it's fine.
The annoying static link sounds are the best part, though.
No.
I love when the static link going, or other silly spells that just keep making noise. Teleports? Yeah, teleports.
No. I'm happy I don't have to hear those at the moment. You can just look at Unstable trying to run towards his tower, Limbo doing the same thing. Well, Capron actually, I mean, he's running for his life, but I think he thinks, you know what, I'm dead anyway, I'm gonna kill off the Venomancer. Oh, they're gonna say ready. Oh my god, they're gonna go for it. Here we go. Capron, turn around soul assumption, that's gonna be J for that. Visage still dies, I mean, that was expected. And Moon, running for it, wants to go for Unstable. In comes, or down goes the Witch Doctor rather. Now going for the last one, Limbo, tethered up, and he's already still in his haste. And his haste, of course, makes him extra vulnerable. In comes the spirits, 1, 2. One more spirit needed. Limbo, can he live through this? He's got 3 stick charges. Moon's still sitting there. As the tether is there, the crush is there, that will be IO down. And the... Oh, where did he go? Moon runs himself out. Should be good, unless Unstable can get a thingy in. No, he can't. No stun for him. Well, that went better than expected for Duza. I mean, they didn't lose their Slaughter and they got the IO and the Venomancer in the end. So it's a 2-for-2 trade, after all, which is pretty decent considering they were on the back foot. And now with Moon disconnected, I mean, he's running all the way back to base, that's helping out a lot as well. They can't buy a teleport scroll on him, so he has to walk all the way back as well. Maybe, actually no, they're gonna relocate him back.
They could also buy a teleport. They could buy a teleport
they're not
scroll and
relocating
just
him back.
put it on him.
There was actually a relocate top. They wanted to go for MIB, but they didn't get him. Oh, yeah, you can buy
we'll see what
top
happens
and
with
put it
this
up
if
on
Moon's
him.
able to reconnect eventually, and they're just going to try and survive for now. But this is really an unfortunate situation for Power Rangers. They're in a good position, but it's going to be hard to win like this.
Yeah. And Duza. I'm not expecting them to actually be happy about it, though they are, of course, now not in as bad of a shape as they were before if Moon is not coming back. I'm thinking they're gonna be really happy that the gank failed, though, because Batrider definitely was at a chance of dying there on the top lane, but lived in the end. He comes in with Cheshire Cat. The vortex is there. I'm not sure why he walks over there when he's so low on mana, and he might actually go down. He is flying himself towards his tower. He will be able to live and move back bottom. And go towards the fountain, of course, but still pretty scary stuff right there.
Yes, he almost goes down, but doesn't, so it ends up just being kind of a waste of time. And now they're ganking Razor in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Storm Prism holding him safe. There's a double damage up on ZXC, but I don't think he minds. He is still very fast, though, and they won't be able to get him in the end, or maybe if he comes back. Look at the damage that ZXC does. Oh, the soul assumption, is it enough? No, it's not! Oh my god, what a...
Oh.
Whiffs it at his Eclipse, and in comes the IO, down goes the OD. The tethers, it's enough. In comes the last two, that will be definitely an IO dead. Capron doing what he can, but goes down still from the spirits if you stuck around. Well, you're gonna get yourself killed. Double kill for IO before it goes down. I think that's worth it.
Yeah, so Visage was in a really bad spot there. He couldn't run away because Io had managed to get the spirits off right before he got lassoed. So they were circling around him, and as soon as he died, all the spirits exploded on him, and he was dead because of that. It was really, really sad. All he could really do was hope that he would survive long enough to get the experience from that kill.
Yeah, it's kinda... unfortunate to be honest, and I mean that was the Sanity's Eclipse, of course, also used to fight. That's a pretty long cooldown. I mean, 160 seconds, so over 2 minutes. As the bottom lane is having some issues, the relocate was there. In comes Moon, though. He gets stunned up by the paralyzing cask, and the relocate will go back to where they came from without getting Limbo. And Limbo were able to continue to farm. He's 19 for 3. He's really not farming all that well, not unsurprisingly, of course, because of the aggressive trial lane. But now that the aggressive trial lane cannot be that aggressive anymore, they're actually gonna be having a way easier time with getting that Slardar up to farm.
Yeah, it's a kind of awkward situation. Limbo's not farming well, so that's unfortunate for him, and OD's not doing great in that mid lane either. He's actually went towards the top lane now. But at the same time, Power Rangers, their carry is disconnected. So he's not really farming that well either. I don't know. It's going to be a weird spot. I don't know how to expect what this game is going to go for. When it's 4v5, it's pretty hard to win as the team of 4.
Yeah, so OD goes down to the top lane and was trying to get some farm in. Not able to do so. No relocate even used for it. I'm getting curious, like, right now, Power Rangers, I mean, they're still getting kills. They're still ahead, of course. But how much are the players actually busy with trying to get Moon back in, like have they got communication going on and stuff? That might be this, like, basically distracting them from the game slightly, but we'll see. So for Illusion Rune picked up by the Razor, we're gonna see them grouping up from mid. Still have Moon trying to go for it. I think they're gonna try to go for Roshan next. I mean, Roshan is back up again in a couple of seconds, of course, and they still could use Moon for that one. Moon, whose gold is gonna be split soon, of course. 5 minutes is all that it takes. As Arrow takes down the tier 1
Relocate bottom.
Yeah, they want to try and go for this. Unstable with the target. In comes a Vortex. That's going to be OD, or dead. IO dead as well. Capron lives actually. No ball lighting forward. That's going to be another kill going the way of Cheshire Cat. 2 for 1 in the end. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade at all. For Power Range, of course. And actually, this is going to be even better. Visage that just got level 6. Or just got level 8 actually. That's a high level for Visage at this minute. But he is losing one of his familiars, which is quite a bummer.
Yeah, anytime you give up a familiar kill, it's not what you want to be doing, since it is 100 gold that you're just giving away. Yeah, it's a good gank by Power Rangers, and they're able to sort of maybe transition it into that push into tier 1, or at least some damage on it with the catapult there. They're backing off for now, and they're actually going for Roshan again. Moon's there in spirit.
Yeah, we might have also Duza going for it though. They have got the Bear Rider with the Blink Dagger now as well. They could try to make their way over, but they don't really need anybody else. As in, they don't really, like, Power Rangers can just stand outside of the pit like they do right now and not really care, apart from picking up the Aegis like Cheshire Cat just now. And yeah, Duza is just gonna be too late. They have smoked up though, but they're gonna smoke up towards targets that have now got an Aegis, and that's not really ideal as they send Moon back to the fountain. Moon that's now sitting on enough gold for a Blink Dagger. If only he was able to reconnect. He really dropped behind very far. I mean, we can't really see his net worth because you only see the gold that he has in his inventory. Oh, Legion! Jump forward from MIB though, but he jumps right into a tether stun. Cheshire Cat will still end up losing his Aegis. Aya will go down as well as EXE gets bursted down. MIB getting himself back out of there. Cheshire Cat able to ball lighting himself to the high ground. Doesn't get the Bear Rider anymore though. It's a 2 for 1 in the end with a favorable trade for Duza, and they get the Aegis out of that as well. Big engagement for Duza, really a fight that they needed to take. Because they don't lose their tier 1 tower. They of course do lose their OD, which is kind of sad as OD is having a tough game. But it's definitely not too bad.
Yeah, they managed to hold that tower, and they also took the Aegis down. They got a couple kills out of it as well.
Oh, relocate
now.
Yeah. Ball lightning's up, zipping in, getting Limbo. Limbo trying to continue to backing him off. They are also controlling Moon in this one. He gets us from prison for now. They try to focus up on the Io. Io already dead. Looking out for the next target. Moon will beat the target. He gets crushed upon. He tries to run, gets stunned, gets killed. Capron with a double kill. And that's gonna be getting a 2-for-0 trade in favor of Duza. And by the way, the 5 minutes are almost over, meaning that Moon will soon lose his gold if he doesn't reconnect in. And then if he does reconnect back in, he's going to be even further behind than he already is, as he is now level 7 in a game where there is a Visage that is level 9. He's the lowest level on his team, with only the Witch Doctor being lower level than him. He's level 6.
It's a really unfortunate situation for Power Rangers. I don't know if they're going to be able to really come back from this. It's going to be just a slow game where they're outnumbered.
Oh.
Yeah, now Zixi going down.
Yeah, lasso used for that one. Familiar Disables helping out. Killing spree for Capron. I mean, I still think that Duza, even without the disconnect, had a chance of coming back for this game, but it's a shame that they do it this way. Like, they won't get the credit for this if they win this. Right? Because it's like, okay, you know what? You're the main carry of Power Rangers disconnected. That's why you won.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, no one's going to be like, oh, well, Duza just played so well this game. Because it looked like they were behind. It wasn't like Power Rangers were already kind of out of it and then someone disconnected and it got worse. They were arguably losing this game.
Yeah, they were.
Not necessarily by a lot, but they were behind. And now they're going to be not really given the chance to like fight back from it and maybe end up looking really good. Or they just end up losing the game. It's probably they're going to be winning a game that people are going to say they didn't deserve.
Yeah, well, what's something that's interesting for Duza as well, I mean, we've seen them starting off losing games before, and then they came back and won it, which is why Duza is such a great team to watch. But in this one, they didn't even get the chance to try that, so it's or at least so far, they haven't had the chance to try that, so it's kind of sad. I'm still checking Moon regularly to see if he lost his gold already, but so far he hasn't lost it just yet, still sitting on 2,400. Of course, like already said, he can't actually buy anything with it, so that's kind of sad. But we'll see if he reconnects back in, or if we maybe have another pause. I mean, who knows? Maybe Power Ranger says, you know what, he's so close to being back. Can we just pause for a minute longer? Maybe admins are saying, yeah, sure, nice. We do have an Orchid up on the Storm, by the way, and that might make a difference. Maybe they are going to be a bit more aggressive. So far, the kill score is back to even. We do have the graph still very much in favor of Power Rangers, 7,500 gold in their favor, with the experience graph from 4K in favor of Power Rangers jump back towards the 0 line.
It's still a very close game, all things considered. They're still trying to farm up Moon. I'm assuming it's the Wisp that's actually microing him since they've been mostly together. It's just going to be difficult. Definitely going to be difficult. He still has all of his gold for the moment. I feel like it's been more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, me too. Did they change that you don't lose your gold anymore in maybe in you know, tournament matches or something?
Yeah, they might have done it in tournament matches or private lobbies in general. I'm not sure.
Oh, zap in. They want to go for Legion. Orchid already used. In comes a cavalry, but not needed. 5 heroes just in case to take down the OD. Well, they'll take a tier 1 off the back of this one. So far, by the way, there's no towers down yet in the set of Power Rangers. Oh, incomes. Never mind. Down, like, that's already cancelled. Paralyzing cast. Oh, blink forward. Last two with the silence. It's gonna be too late. Incomes also the Witch Doctor old helping out a lot. MIB still going down, but Cheshire Cat going down with him together with the Storm. J4 has got a Soul Assumption waiting for him. Getting slowed down, getting chased down by the Familiars. The Medallion helping out as well. Another Soul Assumption to help out. The Familiars getting resummoned. And they'll try to help kill off the Storm who came back, who bought back, kills off Capron. And in comes the Io and Ursa as well. Ursa indeed still not losing any gold. But in the end, it's actually a trade favorable for Power Rangers, courtesy of buyback.
Yeah, the buyback could definitely help them out to make sure they came out ahead. And actually, Slardar almost died just from the Venomancer poison as well. It was a very good fight for Power Rangers considering the situation that we were in with the relocate. Just pulled Ursa out with the Wisp, so they were fighting 5v3 effectively. And when you're fighting that way, it's pretty difficult to win that fight.
Yep.
And they end up coming out ahead in the end, so definitely a good fight for Power Rangers. They're still staying in it, but Slardar able to kill Storm Spirit in the top lane. I feel like Ursa, if he were coming back, he probably should have made it back in by now.
Maybe he's making his way over to someone else's computer.
It's possible.
Could be. Cannot give up hope. Cannot give up hope. So far though, Power Rangers have seemingly worked around it. Ursa, I mean, he might not be able to buy items, but they're still not out of this just yet. They're still getting their farm, they're still getting their items, and they're still winning the fight sometimes as well. And they've got the better map control now that they've taken down all the outer towers of Duza. Because, I mean, they still got all their tier 1s and it's looking pretty solid. We actually have got Io finding Slardar, but he has a Blink Dagger, finds Io as well. He has out the Crush already, tethered towards the high ground. And Slithering Crush trying to find him, and should be able to get the kill indeed with the Crush to stop the TP from happening. In comes MIB, already used his Blink though, won't be able to catch out J4. Oh, Moon. Careful there. Jumps himself in. It comes a lasso up on Moon though. Vortex still up on MIB. He has to be careful. Still alive for now. It goes down. Moon goes down with him though. That's going to be 1-for-1 trade. Nice ulti from Unstable. Able to stick around. Able to stand there. Just doing the damage that he can. Melodic will miss, but that's gonna be, actually, that's gonna be 3 dead on the side of Duza, and still only Moon to die on the side of Power Rangers, of course, with Io being the first one to get picked up, but they lose their Batrider, they lose their 2 supports, and in the end it's Duza that have to back out. Again, a fight won by Power Rangers, even though they are fighting with one disconnected hero.
Yeah, they're just kind of throwing the Ursa at them and making them kill him, or he's gonna maul them. And it's wasting a little bit of their time, some of their spells, just killing off the Ursa every fight, and then Razor ZXC is able to move around and fight and do a lot of damage. So it's going okay for Power Rangers. And just can't imagine if the game goes really long, it's going to be possible for them to win when one of their 2 carries is completely pretty much gone.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can assume now that the gold will stay. But I guess we can also assume that they still can't spend the gold. Which is...
Yeah, they're never going to have access to his gold unless it splits. So it's just going to be sitting there piling up, and then every time he dies he'll lose some of it, which is also unfortunate. He's got like almost enough for BKB.
Imagine...
kind of hanging out.
Imagine you being Moon. You know, you're frantically looking for a way to get your internet back on, right? It's very frustrating. I think we've all been there, wanting to get back into something when your internet's not working and trying to fix it, yeah, it's really annoying. And then you come back into the game, you're an Ursa, and you're then all of a sudden you're level 16, you've got yourselves 10k gold, I don't know how much you will have. What will you buy?
My thanks.
I don't know.
BKB?
I
Blink
mean,
Dagger
BKB
still?
is definitely going to be one of them. It's possible he could go for Blink Dagger, but by the time he comes back and he has all that gold, I don't know if Blink will be the most effective item for him. He might just go like Abyssal BKB.
I mean,
Just go big.
yeah. It's definitely a potential. I mean, so far, it's just been Moon and Fnishka trying to go for ancient farming. That's all they've been doing. Moon's still getting a lot of gold here, though. I mean, he's sitting on 4k. He has enough for BKB if he wants it. And of course, Roshan is going to be up again in a minute. In the meantime, there's already a BKB up on ZXC. He's actually able to buy his one, of course. And I think they're going to try to take down another Roshan. Will be the 3rd Roshan of the game at 21 minutes in. And that will mean Roshan with cheese.
Yeah, Cheese Roshan is always a big deal to be able to get, and they're setting up for it with all these Venomance rewards. I don't know. It's gonna be something they can certainly go for, but they're gonna get into a big team fight. And it's getting to the point where this team fight from Duza is gonna be pretty difficult for a PR to really weather in the Roche pit. They have a lot of AoE, and they also have the Batrider to just pull someone up on top of a cliff.
And they're actually looking to contest this Roshan. A 5-on-5 fight. I mean, there is of course the OD Sanity's Eclipse, which is really strong. So you already saw that killing off the Storm earlier on, even though Storm normally the one with the higher intellect, or with at least more intellect overall than other intellect heroes might have. But with the lasso, with the Sanity's Eclipse, with the Crush there as well, if it's nicely in, Blink Crush, pretty strong. This fight indeed is very scary for Power Rangers to take. Though they have got the better Roche taking abilities. Even though saying that, I do know there is an amplified damage for Limbo. He will be able to get that minus armor up on the Roche. And that might be the best just scouting out. We still have all heroes on the bottom lane for Power Rangers as well though. The only one that's missing is the Storm. But he has got a TP scroll and he can be of course at a tier 1 or tier 2 tower real fast. It's a dire advantage. On top of that, the dire advantage also has got the advantage they still have all their tier 1 standing.
Yeah, it's just both teams posturing around Roshan is pretty typical when neither is certain they'll win the fight, but here we go.
Yeah, BKB already turned out for the Razor, but he's still getting dragged away. MIB taking a lot of damage. At least Venomancer was able to get off his ulti, still alive for now, but it won't be for long. Limbo, the first one to go down next to the Slardar, and that will, or next to the Visage rather, that will be MIB getting picked up as well. Man fighting the Venomancer, can't do that. That's a team wipe. 3 dead on the set of Power Ranger, but a team wipe, and I would say a Venomancer MVP, his Poison Nova, level 2, hit almost everybody. Familiars, by the way, chasing down the IO, but I don't think they can get him anymore. And a Roshan, Cheshire Cat trying, but I don't think he can do this actually. Ooh. If there's Familiar stunning him in the pit, that would be him dead.
Yeah, if he get caught out by that, just the stun would have been enough for Roshan to just finish him off. So he's going to be forced to back off. It looks like some other heroes are going to show up. Moon will be there to finish off Roshan, I guess, with some help from the Wisp. It's definitely still going well for Power Rangers. They're winning these fights. ZXC is just doing so much work, and then the Razor, they're not able to kill him off, and he really doesn't have that many items. Just sitting on Phase Boots, Drums, and BKB.
Ooh, blink forward. That's gonna be the Aegis going the way of the Slardar. Moon ending up going down. Io can't really micro that. You see that he's just standing still while he micros Moon. Now he'll end up going down. Roshan still going down for Power Rangers. Oh, he got the cheese. That's pretty painful. ZXC getting a soul assumption, not forced for his BKB charge, and this is pretty big. Who has the cheese?
He used it on the Slardar. Slardar picked up both cheese and Aegis and used the cheese there.
That's pretty big indeed. And 3 dead on the side of Power Rangers, of course. I'm not sure if that would have happened if Moon was actually there. What about you?
You got to imagine that if they weren't forcing one player to sort of micro 2 heroes, it goes better in that position. But who knows? It was a good initiation from Limbo regardless. He was able to snatch the cheese and the Aegis. Is that the 3rd Aegis snatch today we've seen?
We've seen it quite a lot actually.
Yeah, it's like a surprisingly large amount.
Yeah. Oh, bye ZXC, you're dead before he can put on his BKB. OD, of course. Oh, Relocate comes in. Actually, they want to try and take this. TP incoming from the Storm as well. But Io, very, very squishy. Goes down. Still the Poison Nova, making sure that everybody's fairly low. So OD still ends up going down. Moon, though, can he actually take the Aegis? Yes, he can. Moon goes down as well. Cheshire Cat, return on his BKB. Gets himself a triple kill. Pretty decent. Cheshire Cat running for his life is now completely out of mana. Comes himself up on the high ground. Finds himself some people. Blink forward from Limbo. That's an ultra kill for Cheshire Cat when he killed off Unstable. But it's everybody down again on Power Rangers. And this could be one of those tipping points. Maybe the only reason that Limbo is alive is because we had an Aegis. So in the end, everybody basically died. I have to say again though, the Poison Nova doing work. Okay, J4 died very fast on his Venomancer, but he got his ulti off. It hit everybody.
Yeah, the Venomancer ulti just does so much damage if you can hit the entire enemy team, and if they're not popping BKBs to just sort of survive in these fights anyways, they don't happen to have the BKBs yet, it can just burn through the entire HP pools of the enemy team, and then someone like Storm, like we saw in that fight, is able to just move around and clean people up. Just still they're struggling a little bit because they're always kind of fighting 4.5 v5, and that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, Moon is actually reaching the point where he's losing gold. I mean, he was at 4k gold at some point, but because he's been dying quite a bit the last couple of minutes, he has now got 3,700. We do have a BKB now up on the Slardar. I think BKBs, I mean, they have a big impact. We saw that earlier. The fight at the Roche Pit, of course, where Power Rangers won, they had the Razor able to put his BKB on before the last 2 hit. And that's why he didn't go down, there was just not that much damage. Now, of course, this fight, we had the last one before he could pick up his put on his BKB. So, he just got nuked down, OD, with that pure damage. It was just able to just melt down Razor. The difference was insane. And that's, of course, starting to be pretty scary, because the longer these... well, the more engagements there are, the lower the duration of the BKB gets for ZXC, and I mean, that's gonna be a very happy place for OD to be when that BKB is down to 4 seconds. ZXC has to be really careful for that one, because it's his only item that stops him from getting melted by OD. OD also going for a BKB, by the way.
Yeah, BKB are going to be coming up from the OD in the near future. Slaughter finished his now, so that's going to help him quite a bit. And he's already been pretty survivable in these fights. And I think without the Venomancer ulti to really do damage to those two heroes, they're not going to have the ability to kill them. Razor's just not farmed enough, and of course Ursa, he's got money, he just can't use it.
Yeah. That's a bit of a shame. Still not reconnected back. He's still being controlled by the IO, who's just not able to be as effective as he otherwise would. Maybe he'll ask like at some point, hey, you want to control Moon and we're ganking up on this target? I mean, that's a possibility for sure. But they don't really have the wards up to really do that, or at least not where they can actually see people. They just place the ward in the Radiant jungle. And they've got one near the Roche pit as well, but they can't really find someone to really gank and kill. Otherwise, Witch Doctor would probably have died a lot more often. Power Rangers though still holding on. We've got an Aghanims now up for the Venomancer, and if I already said that his Poison Novas have been really impactful, well, be ready for an Aghanims Poison Nova. This is really scary. It's doing so much, and as you said, I mean, J4 to bring them low, and because these fights are actually taking quite a long time, at the end of the fight, if Storm comes in later, he can just zip around and get every kill.
Definitely, if they're able to just sort of stay alive while the Poison Nova's going and doing all that damage, they can certainly clean up those heroes. But that's kind of the difficulty they're going to have now, is that with these BKBs up on the side of Duza, they're not really going to be able to just rely on Poison Nova damage to take down heroes and then charge in afterwards. They're just not in that position anymore because these carries are starting to get farmed finally on the side of Duza. It's getting later and later in the game, and they just don't really have too much for on the side of Power Rangers anymore.
Yeah, we have got the experience graph still in favor of Power Rangers, but by only a very small amount. Tier 1 tower gets dropped on the top lane. In the meantime, it looks like we're having a tower trade because the Tier 2 drops bottom. Power Rangers trying to apply some more pressure, of course, trying to make sure that they keep their team moving. They know they can't wait around too long, because that is, I mean, the longer this game goes on, the more important Ursa would become in terms of just winning based on 5 versus 5. Oh, they find OD, they silence him up. Can they take him down before the fight starts? The crush is there, OD indeed drops. That's gonna be a Poison Nova with Aghanims, mind you. Slardar taking a lot of damage, already going down as well. Venomancer goes down, but he did his job, so that's fine. Unstable gets picked up, Capron still in this. Crush up on ZXC, ZXC will get brought down. It's 3 for 3 so far, with of course 1 buyback, so in the end 3 for 4, I guess, if you want to call it that way. And Io was able to get himself, Storm was able to get himself out. Moon was already sent back home as well. Can't really do that much. So that was, in the end, I mean, it was a pretty good fight for Power Rangers. If they would have won that, that would have been game, I think. But they didn't win it, and unfortunately, well, they played it even, I guess, so they don't get Tier 3 tower out of it either, which is kind of a shame.
They actually came out ahead. There was that buyback.
There was a buyback for sure. Yeah.
So it's an advantage for them, and the heroes that didn't die on the side of Power Rangers were their sort of carries besides Razor, Ursa surviving, and Storm Spirit. Was Ursa even there?
I think he was.
I think he was, but I don't remember really seeing him. I
remember maybe he got sent back home when they took the Tier 2, because at that point he was actually sent into the jungle, but I'm not quite sure if he actually was there. Because how else would he be getting that back so fast? Because he was sitting in the fountain.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure.
Maybe they relocated back, could be.
Any number of things could have happened. It's so hard to follow when it's not actually a person playing him, so sometimes he just is standing around doing nothing, and we're not really watching him, and his impact obviously lowered by the fact that he can't get any items up. But yeah, we saw the Poison Nova in that fight just working wonders. All the heroes were so low so fast from that enhanced Poison Nova. He just needs to get level 16 now and just be able to do as much damage as possible in these fights, because they really need it.
Yeah, this Venomancer having a tremendous impact for Power Rangers, and it's really helping their team fight. I mean, also, it works great together with the Eye of the Storm, which of course does more damage the lower the targets get, right? So, it works great. Team fight potential. Power Rangers definitely looking solid, apart from the fact that they of course got an Ursa missing. They now got a Bloodstone up on the Storm Spirit. Again, Bloodstone fairly late, after he already got the Orchid, after he already got the BKB. In comes the Crush, it actually missed. I think he forgot to blink. There he goes, now he blinks. That's Moon already dead, looking for the IO. Should be able to get that one as well, but in comes Cheshire Cat, trying to help out. BKB's turned on Legion, Astral Prisons himself, still alive. IO will get brought down. In comes the rest of the squad. J4 going down. He still did his ulti though, and we're still gonna see people ticking low slowly but steadily. Cheshire Cat getting crushed up. Can he get himself out? He zips. He is out safe. ZXC getting stunned by the 3 familiars, making sure that the rest of the team of Duza can take down Cheshire Cat by himself. The crush is there, the blink is there, and that's a deny! He's suicided, putting his bloodstone to use. ZXC gets himself a triple kill as he kills off the visage that he chased down. He should be able to get himself out of there. It is a 4-3 trade rather, with Witch Doctor actually barely surviving. Pretty good fight for Duza too, but in the end, I'm still saying, even though Ursa, I mean, he didn't participate at all in that fight. He just got picked up. He's basically free gold at the moment. Still a really good fight for Power Rangers, all things considered. And brilliant deny for Storm Spirit, of course, because in the end, I guess you can call it like 3 for 3 because like Storm denied himself.
Yeah, Power Rangers are still just doing a great job of surviving in these fights. They're going like close to even pretty much every time, and they're fighting with a pretty big disadvantage. So just imagine how this game would go if they had theirs actually in it.
Yeah.
I think they could still probably win this if they can just take one big fight. The biggest problem right now is that Slaughter is starting to get pretty big, and they're having a lot of trouble actually dealing with him.
Ooh, Limbo getting vortexed. Bedrider trying to drag someone out. ZXC will still go down though, but this is not a good trade because Roshan is on the lines. MIB the best will end up going down as well. 4 dead on the map, 2 for 2 so far. Moon, of course, dead. Makes sure that Power Rangers might not be able to take Roshan without him. But he's going to be up before anybody else because he's fairly low level compared to the rest right now. 1 minute full before the Slaughter comes back, and only half a minute before the Ursa comes back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good thing for them to get there. They trade CXC for Limbo and MIB. That's pretty much great, especially considering Limbo does have the buyback and cooldown. He used it to defend that tier 3 in the bottom lane earlier.
Ooh, paralyzing cask. Gets disjointed by Cheshire Cat. In comes Io as well. They're actually gonna try to go back in. In comes Zip. They go for Capron. Vortex is there. Is there enough damage? Storm Prism helping out. Hello, J4. He's gonna probably die, but he did already do his duty, so he's fine. Actually, no, he'll still die for the tower. But the Poison Nova still ticking down. Legion already below half HP, still ticking down as well. It's doing so much damage right now. Insane. Nobody actually dies here apart from apart from J4. That's a bit of a shame maybe for Power Rangers, who's now going to be up against the full team of Duza again if they want to try to take Roshan.
Yeah, we're going to have a big full 5v5 team fight if we're going to go for a Roshan at this point, because everyone will be up at that point. Venomancer are the only one down at the moment, but no real engagement probably going to occur in the next 20 or so seconds while he's respawning. So I kind of imagine that's where the next big fight's going to be. Storm just flying across the map there, trying to get away. It looks like Duza want to go for it. This is their opportunity if they want to try it now.
Yep, I think they can take it. Someone just has to use the Lincolns. There we go, done. And this is going to be a Roshan going away. Power Rangers. Looks like ZXC is going to try to scout it out. I'm not sure if he can actually do something here. In the meantime, we have got OD picked off on the other side of the map. In comes MIB, lasso up on ZXC, who doesn't have his beacon meter. Now he has it, but it's too late. He goes down. Moon, what are you doing there, buddy? Oh, forces. Wow. Well, that's some trigger happy BKBs. And trigger happy Death Ward as well. In comes now Cheshire Cat, but the very long zip gets crushed the moment that he's here. Has to back himself out already, and he's very low on mana, of course, because he's hit for so long. He goes down. There goes the IO going down as well. In comes a crush. GXC, he just brought back. He kims himself back, and he is gonna be going down again. J4 now, last one surviving, and he won't be standing in the way between Duza and Roshan. Definitely not. Roshan will go the way of Duza. Everybody on Duza very low, though. Imagine a Poison Nova and a Gale. Imagine a Poison Nova and a Gale. But he still lands a Gale, still hits on Limbo, still does quite a bit of damage. He does have a cheese though, he uses it straight away. He has an Aegis of course as well. Down goes the tier 2 tower in the meantime just by creeps.
It's looking like that's probably going to more or less seal the deal on this game with that last fight lost there. PR, they were at a big disadvantage and they held up for quite a long time, even a couple instances looking like they might be able to take it, but it's going to be hard for them now with the Aegis up on the Slardar.
Yeah, it is indeed. And the Ursa still keeping around 4k gold. Moon coming back in by himself will get picked off very fast. There's no way that he can do anything here. Gets himself killed again. J4 coming in with the Gale, has a Poison Nova as well. BKB still turned on by Limbo already though. They go for Cheshire Cat, who now also turns on his BKB. Wants to go for MIB. He's able to go zip himself back and still at least able to pick up MIB in the end. Oh, that Aghanim's Death Ward. That Aghanim's Death Ward from Unstable. Forcing them back. We already have two people dead on Power Rangers with the IO picked up as well. ZXC is back, but he's up against a team that's still full on HP. We still have an Aegis in their squad as well as Roshan. Come on, people. 5 HP, really? There comes Familiars doing the job. That's going to be working out. They get the melee racks. In comes Cheshire Cat. Vortex up on Limbo. Silence up on main Limbo as well. But I don't think it matters. The bashes are there. Cheshire dies. ZXC will be next. In comes a Crush. That's going to be another kill added to the board. In comes a buyback. They really want to take down this Aegis. They have to be careful though. Very low amount of getting slowed down. Will be forced to zip away again, perhaps. I mean, they're still on Aegis. They might try to turn and burn this. They're not gonna. Do you think that with the Ursa, like, should Duza win this? Is this a win because of the Ursa disconnecting?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that it's just how hard to tell it was. There were a lot of fights that PR kind of won, and that was with the Ursa being at a huge disadvantage. So I think the situation would have never gotten to this point where dudes are taking these big team fights. Their heroes are typically pretty under-farmed. Like, their most farmed hero is Visage for some reason. I don't even know how that happened. I just now went and looked at net worth. I kept looking
he's got
at
16 kills,
OD's items.
24. So he's been in 30 out of the 47 kills. He's, you know, doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's certainly good, but Slardar just has like nothing. Seeing a BKB blink there, he's got 5,000 gold now, and that's good. But
Cheshire Cat, the bashes are needed. The BKB still gets turned on. He's gonna try to kill off Unstable, but he will be in trouble of getting bashed. He actually goes down. Witch Doctor with the last hit puts his Death Ward up. Quite overkill, I feel like, but hey, he got the last hit with it, so that's all fine. I have to just say again, by the way, these teams, regardless of disconnecting or not, they do not disappoint. We have an average of at least 2 kills per minute, even more than that, as we have got 88 kills in 40 minutes. Pretty decent. I'm not sad about it.
Yeah, it's
I'm sad about the Ursa disconnecting though. I mean,
yeah, this, definitely disappointing to have the Ursa DC. I think it could have been close if the game went late anyways, because Duza do seem to have a little bit better late game, but Power Rangers had a pretty big advantage, and I think they would have been able to kind of snowball off of that. But it is what it is. Sometimes internet problems happen, and if there's nothing you can do about it, this is just what happens. Yeah. We could have waited for another 20 minutes and he still wouldn't have reconnected.
True that. We have the GG cold, of course. Power Rangers tapping out. Unfortunately, bit of an anticlimactic game, I guess, in the end. But still, even with 4 versus 5, both teams still were able to deliver some nice moments. And of course, Power Rangers, I mean, they've definitely shown that they're still strong, even though they are fighting 4 against 5. Right? Oh, wow, the end screen actually has a static link sound. Oh,
for you?
Yeah, it just ended, so it's fine. Oh. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a Visage with a Desolator in the end, by the way.
A Visage was very farmed. Yeah. Like the most farmed hero on the map. It was gold per minute.
It was gold per minute sitting on 456. Slightly below Slardar actually for his team, but also way below that of Storm Spirit, which is 535.
Both of them bought back many times throughout the game though, whereas I don't think Visage like ever did. So it is what it is, and Dudes end up coming out on top, so they get to continue their pretty good streak in Starladder.
Yep. Of course, this was the last Star Series game of the night. We're gonna jump ourselves out of this, but of course, at first I will tell you still what's coming up tomorrow. 1700 CST time is when the first game starts tomorrow. Will be Alliance versus Virtus Pro, then Fnatic versus Rockskiss, Empire versus 4FC, and KP versus Alliance to close things off. None of the games are actually fully confirmed, but as in teams are allowed to use wildcards to swap around their games, but so far none have been used. So keep an eye out on every website that you can think of for which games are going to be there. As well, I'm sure you know my website, www.shivergaming.com. You can see all the matches of today and tomorrow. Anyways, any shoutouts for you can ask. Of course, thank you for being here. Hey, thank you for the stats, of course, also, before we jump ourselves out, Nahar, but he is unfortunately disconnected. His laptop apparently could not hold on through these games, but still very nice to have some stats again. It's been a while. But any shoutouts or plugins for you can ask? Sorry for talking so long.
Yeah, no. No big deal. No shoutouts really today or plugins. If you like my casting, you can catch twitch.tv/Canasta or follow me on Twitter @CanazDota.
Good, so make sure you do that. Of course, you can check out me on Twitter at twitter.com/ShiverGaming and everything else on the social media things that are Shiver Gaming. So that's that. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna play some music and commercials, and then I'm gonna tune off. So stick around for commercial if you want to support that way, and otherwise have a good night. And you can continue watching that. I believe that there might still be a best of 3 going on for the EMS Cup 2 in Join Dota Red. So that might be the one that you want to check out. Anyways, thank you for being here, and have a good night.